Hello and welcome to This Week in Bitcoin, brought to you by Relay Private. Just like every week, I'm going to recap to you what happened in the Bitcoin ecosystem, and let's get stuck in right away. News number one are related to the 58K gang. And in case you don't know, the 58K gang is sort of a phenomenon from the last bull run, where a lot of people suddenly got very active on social media, at meetups and stuff, related to like that 58K price. And I'm talking about $58,000. And it's sort of been a running meme at this point where a lot of them went like, oh, the 58K gang is so strong. They came in, they started hodling, the price went up back then. And ever since, it's sort of been a really fundamental part of Bitcoin culture. And this week, the 58K gang was very strong. I, in fact, actually also made a tweet, in my opinion, a funny tweet, and I'm here to a bit self-plugging because guess what? That's what you're able to do if you're in front of the camera. And a lot of them, the price spiked to 60, 61, almost 62K, and then it dropped again, always back to 58K. And the entire week, it seemed like we were at that 58K price level, just going up and down. And whenever Bitcoin is in that side movement, things start to get pretty much entertaining, or people have more time on their hands because they're not worrying about price or anything else. Because most of us like to admit we don't check price, but I imagine a lot of them still secretly do. And there's a lot of reason for that price spiking. You had Silk Road coins being moved by the US government. You had some announcements from the Mt. Gox coins, which got moved from like BitGo to another custodian. And then there were people getting payouts. And all of these, I would call them micro events, led to the price spiking and dropping a bit. And then on the other hand, you also had macro influence by stuff like the US labor reports and the jobs reports, where the government apparently did a bad job in actually calculating how many jobs they added. And so sort of did a oops, our bad. And this just had an influence on the price going up and down. However, so far, the price is going strong. And knock on wood, nothing is happening so far, because whenever I record these videos relating to price, there is an action. I obviously record these videos a bit in advance, at least a day in advance. And we're going strong at the minute of recording at 60K. Again, $60,000 per Bitcoin. And from the looks of it, things are starting to stabilize. Whether that has something to do with how the network is growing, how rare Bitcoin is getting now, we'll get into that with the next news. We don't know, but so far, if 58K gang is watching, I think it's safe to say that we're detaching a bit from those levels. News number two are more network related, and that is that 94% of the Bitcoin supply has been mined. The exact number to get there was 19.74 million Bitcoin. And this just leaves 6% to be mined. And the miners will have a pretty hard fight until 2140 or 2140, depending on how you want to pronounce the year, because it is getting increasingly more difficult, obviously, to mine. You have things in place like the Bitcoin halving or the difficulty adjustments that is preventing, to keep a level playing field. But if more miners are joining, it's a competitive market, it's an open market, a free market, and you have the opportunity to participate. And it's really going to be a fight in the next couple of years of who is actually mining and solving the hashing problem the fastest. However, this also makes Bitcoin, as we all know, the scarce asset on planet Earth. And who knows, maybe it has some correlation between hodlers and miners, because news number three this week are that hodlers who've been hodling longer than 6+ months are at a staggering 75%, meaning 75% of the coins have not moved in that time period. This is now a strong signal because, especially since July 30th, 500,000 Bitcoin have been bought. Crazy number if you consider, with all of the price dip. So hodlers who are really utilizing the dip, and we also see this at Relay, to buy more Bitcoin, have been using this opportunity at a rapid pace. And whenever we see these strong hodl signs, this is really proving the point that for a lot of people, Bitcoin is a store of value. They want to save for the future. Doesn't mean they're not spending maybe parts of their portfolio for stuff like the Lightning Network, or to pay and use Bitcoin in shops, for travels, or for other solutions. However, the majority is holding on and really using it to plan for their future, which is something we at Relai obviously endorse, because after all, it is the best savings technology. And with that, we're at the end of this week in Bitcoin. You know the drill. If you got questions, feedback, or you just want to say hello, leave us a comment below this video. And I look forward to seeing you next week again.